Do you ever wonder what some therapists argue about with other therapists behind the scenes? Well, in this video, I'm going to discuss about 5 different things that I have literally witnessed other therapists argue about, and some of them might surprise you. So, number one is the amount that some therapists charge for private pay. Some therapists charge $200 and up per session. And this is very debatable behind the scenes in the therapy world because one group of therapists feel that therapy should be accessible and affordable for all people. And although I agree with that, we have to also be realistic. So you have to look at what is our training in, because if we have specialties or certain niches that have been very, very expensive to get trained in, that also require hours of consultation that we have to pay for out of pocket. So, and we also have to look at the location where the therapist is. So, I'm in the state of Massachusetts, so of course my rate for therapy is going to be higher than somebody who does therapy in, say, Kentucky. So that's a big debatable topic, the amount that therapists charge for individual sessions. Number two is hugs. So in our field, we are taught, our ethics state that there should be no physical contact, right? And that's for boundary purposes, which makes sense. But there are some cultures that, giving a hug is a sign of respect. And so that's a little bit of a hot topic in the therapy world. In my being in the field for 15 years, I've only given a client a hug one time. And that is because they lost 2 of their adult children, and that just was so tragic. And I asked if I could give her a hug, and so she said yes. But that's the only time. And so that's number 2. Number 3 is emailing. When clients email therapists in between sessions, this is a very hot topic. Emailing is supposed to be for scheduling or canceling, that type of thing. Personally, I have a disclosure where I do not discuss clinical information through email. And but clients will still sometimes will email me situations that have happened, information that they want me to know in between sessions. And so I have a pretty strict policy where I tell clients, you're free to email me the information, but I will not respond to that email, but I will acknowledge the email in your next session, and we can touch upon what you wrote in that email. And there's a lot of reasons for that. You don't want the therapy to spill over outside of the session, because how can we keep the parameters around that? And it gets very complicated and sticky. So therefore, we have a hard rule of, we don't discuss clinical information outside of the session through email. There are some therapists that don't agree with that. So that, again, is the hot topic. Number 4 is eating in session. Apparently, there are some therapists that they will eat in session with their client. I don't understand why that is a thing. I would never eat in front of my client. It kicks up ethical issues. Like, well, what if you have a client with an eating disorder and here you are, stuffing your face with a burrito? I just don't see. And second of all of our energy as a therapist should be on the client. What are we doing eating in the session? Now, is it okay for a client to bring food into their session? Personally, I don't care. It's their session. But this is a topic that's behind the scenes in therapy. The last one that I want to talk about is therapists who charge private pay to see couples. This is a big one. Out of all of the ones that I mentioned here, this is a big one, and it is a very hot topic. It's not uncommon that a therapist will charge $200 or $250 for a session with a couple. And a lot of people think, that's a lot of money. And it is. But think of it this way. It is an investment for their marriage. If they want to save the marriage, it's worth that investment. And you're really, as a therapist, doing therapy for two people. So if we charge $125 or $150 for one client per session, it makes sense that we're going to charge that times two if it's two people, right? And then there's a lot of discussion about, well, why are you charging the client private pay? Why not charge their insurance if the client has insurance? So this piece is about, so to bill the insurance, there has to be a medical diagnosis, medical necessity, right? There's no guarantee that that couple that's coming to us meets the criteria for medical necessity. What's a medical necessity? A diagnosis in the DSM, the big fat book, the Bible of psychology. So if they don't meet medical necessity, then we cannot bill the insurance company. It's that simple. Or sometimes it's the partner who has the health insurance, but they're not the one that meets medical necessity. It's the partner, but the partner doesn't have insurance or something like that. So a lot of therapists charge private pay to see couples. So let me know what you think. But these are some things, and believe me, some of the discussions like on social media or in consult groups, it can get pretty heated. And I don't know why it has to get heated. Why can't we just discuss it? We don't have to agree. But people get like really passionate about this stuff. It's kind of like politics. You know, you got to be careful who you talk about with what too. So follow me and my channel if you like what I discuss, and I will keep putting them out, and I'll see you all next time.